When we left things on Friday, we were talking about the TMPD 1 of 24-25 tender. And I wanted to carry on, and maybe the best place to pick up or to start this morning is the question that you were asked at 2.12.1 of the notice, and that's in file 1 in supplementary bundle, pages, at the foot of page 6. And there you were asked, what was the purpose of Sergeant Nkosi providing you with the names of bidders, including El Shaddai Security Services, 2 Cops in Security, Tautau Security, Vision Acuity Security, Shumile Security, and Vincere Security and Protection Services? And your answer at the foot of page 14 of file 1 was, I believe his request was premised at the time on the mistaken belief that I would be able to check if the bids were compliant. He was, of course, wrong. You recall that?
Yes, Chair, I recall it in my sworn statement.
Sorry?
I do recall it's in my sworn statement, Chair.
And you stand by that answer?
Yes, Chair, I stand by it.
Did you ever explain to Sergeant Nkosi that there was a strict segregation of duties and that you had no access to the documents of the BEC?
Chair, I just explained that there's nothing I can do to check compliance.
You just explained that there was nothing you could do?
Yes.
And when did you explain that?
Chair, I think if you go into our discussions, and I'll particularly refer you to Bundle 3 of the pack that we have. And in this pack, Chair, I want to refer you to 4 instances. These 4 instances have been captured, Chair, on page 148 of Bundle number 3. This is on the 11th of March in 2025. Secondly...
Mr. Mnisi? Just wait for Chair to get to the page you are referring to.
Okay.
Yes. Can you give the page number again?
It's page 148 of the 3rd bundle.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Chair, if you look at page 148, there seems to be, well, there is a message from Sergeant Nkosi. In this message, he sends me a notice saying 2 vehicles are for land, Ngapesheya and El Shaddai. That's what he says. We then go on a phone call, and I clearly explained, first get clarity. What is this all about? He then explains to me...
Sorry, can you please identify the chat you were referring to?
Okay.
When you mentioned Ngapesheya.
Okay. So on
maybe date and time, perhaps?
Okay. So on page 148, Chairperson, it's on the 11th of March, 2025. It's at 3:21 if you add the 2 hours as indicated by Senior Counsel. So it's chat number 1, 2, 3, 4. Chat number 4. On chat number 4, Sergeant Nkosi says to me, "Good afternoon, my brother. I trust you are well and your family. My sincere apologies for the delay in sending this message. The 2 vehicles for land are Ngapesheya Security Services, El Shaddai Security Services. Have a blessed Sunday and lots of love." He then sends further messages with 7 companies. He then refers to a message where he is talking about the red berets, and please check with Mfwetu with the same from CIC. Nonetheless, at this stage, I want to focus on the 4th from the top, where he's sending me details of Ngapesheya Security Services and El Shaddai. If you go over to the next page, on 149, you can clearly see that he attempted to call me on 2 occasions, and I was busy. I couldn't answer. He even sends a message before the second call, Mfwetu, saying, "Are you able to pick up your call?" We then have a discussion. I call him back because I then had an opportunity. He then explains to me the request on why he's sending me this message. And he's over the telephonic discussion, Chair, can you please assist me with checking compliance for these 2 bids? I then clearly explained to him, unequivocally, Chair, that I cannot check compliance. This bid is closed. There's nothing I can do. You can only explain bid clarification matters subject to tenders closing. So there's nothing I can do. Chairperson, it doesn't stop there. I'm going to take us now to 152. On 152, same bundle. It's the second.
I've sort of lost track of where we've been going in the last hour. It's actually, I think this is the longest period I've ever gone without asking a question. But let me try and regain my bearings. Mr. Mnisi, before we, I'm going to have to retrace some of the steps you've covered with the Commission, because with respect to your answers are transparently false. And although the Commissioners have already, I submit, shown that, there's a lot more evidence that shows it too. So I need to go through that. But before I get there, I just want to clarify, on Friday, when I asked you to explain a certain text, you said, oh no, it's an autocorrect error. I'm going to take him off actually meant I was going to take him on. You've looked at these texts quite closely now, and the Commission has taken you through them quite closely. Have you picked up any other autocorrect errors that you'd like me to be aware of before we start down this road?
Chairperson, I think firstly, the indication I see that my answers are false. I must try and firstly address that and respectfully disagree with that, because these are the recollection of the events, and I am trying to take the Commission through what transpired at that point in time. But I suspect, as you did mention, that as and when we go further, we'll have further discussions, maybe towards what's leading you to that inference. But respectfully, I would like to disagree with that inference, that my answers are false. They are not false, Chair. These are the true events on the recollection of my knowledge as per the sequence of what was going on this topic at hand. Your second question is a bit, I've got a pack of 669 pages. So I couldn't, from the top of my head, tell you now, Senior Counsel, what is autocorrect, what is not. So can I respectfully request that as and when we go through this, we'll have a discussion on that, but I wouldn't know at this stage.
No, I'm confining myself to these 4 instances where Sergeant Nkosi sends you names of companies that to the rest of us seem to be the names of the companies he wants to get this tender, but to you seem to be the names of the companies in respect of which he's impermissibly asking you to check compliance. We spent the last hour going through those, you and the Commission. Did you come across any autocorrect errors in those chats, looking at those 4 instances?
I think when I was responding, I was focusing on responding to the questions that the Commissioners were posing. I might not have picked up anything whilst we were having those discussions, Evidence Leader.
Right, but where you actually did respond to a specific text, I can be confident that that text means what it says and wasn't an autocorrect problem.
There were instances where when we looked at a chest, I tried to clarify because of the misunderstanding and the informal nature of the discussions. So I think while the Commissioners were asking questions, there were some points where I tried to explain further, just to give a clear indication of what this actually meant as a result of the highly informal nature of these SMSs. So there are instances of that nature, Evidence Leader, where I'll have to try and explain context further as a result of the informal nature of some of these discussions.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in context. I appreciate that you may need to explain context, but I'm asking a separate question, which is when the message says ABC, are there cases where actually you typed XYZ, but autocorrect changed it to ABC? That's what I'm asking, because that's what you suggested on Friday in relation to, I'm going to take him off this one. You actually meant, I'm going to take him on that one, on this one.
At this stage, I haven't picked up any.
Okay. Well, if you come across any, please let me know as soon as possible. Thanks.